Shove it, man!
On Ring of the Hawk, we always make the ladies squawk, and even some of the Shove It squad like it when I talk. Bit of a weird competitor on Ring of the Hawk today. I'm certainly not making this one for the views. In fact, I'm making it for JJ Toehill Rogers over on Patreon. If you like to hear the Hawk squawk, sign up today. And while you're at it, join the Flying to Graceland World Tour as we fly together to the promised land of 100k subscribers. And if you say that you're not, you're just a bunch of liars. I'm not expecting much from our competitor today, but you never know. Let me know the final grade that you would have given him at the end of the video. And of course,
if you know a wrestler who can do the JLB to the HJWK any night, any day, ha ha! Shove their name in the comment, Jack!
Alright, Stevie Richards, he went from WWE to TNA. Not sure if it was the future he pictured. For months, an unknown shrink was trying to help Abyss overcome an obsession with weapons and violence. Despite his face being hidden, it's obvious from the voice that this was Stevie Richards. He then started counselling Daphne as well. It was all going pretty well until Stevie started to turn abusive towards the monster. And Daphne, well, she loved the good doctor. Match 1, Victory Road 2009, no DQ, Dr. Stevie versus the Monster Abyss. The match starts with Abyss wallowing around ringside after Stevie. The Doctor cuts him off in the ring and beats on the monster with a baton. Stevie tries the good old 10 baton strikes in the corner, but Abyss pushes him off and boots him in the face. They head to the outside and Abyss knocks him over on the ramp, but nothing else happens. Back at the ring, Stevie tries to outpower Abyss, but it's not happening. Stevie hits him with some chops, but it has zero effect, and then Abyss uses a super effect chop. The monster launches him out the ring and Stevie tries to run away again. Abyss chases him through the crowd, but he's too slow and he gets caught. Abyss sends him into a wall and then claps like a seal with happiness. The crowd asks for one more time and the monster doesn't disappoint them. Back around ringside, Abyss sends him face first into the steps, which busts our guy open. The monster grabs his greasy locks and keeps sending him into the steps. Abyss's attire is so bad here, he looks like he's been eaten by moths. The monster is jealous that Stevie's clothes don't have holes in them, so he rips his scrubs off. The crowd are going nuts for this match, I'm not sure why. I guess they love seeing Stevie Richards getting beaten up. Abyss fetches a chair and puts it in the corner and sends Stevie into it. He's not fought back or landed a single punch for 5 minutes. Abyss crushes him with the shock treatment backbreaker and he has the match won, but changes his mind and doesn't want it to end. Daphne appears with a taser and Stevie hits Abyss in the nutsack. Backstage interviewer Lauren then appears and she takes down Daphne. Abyss thinks Lauren's his girlfriend. Stevie has the taser, but he doesn't get to use it because Abyss hits him with the black hole slam. The monster realises the taser is on the ground as the crowd chant to use it. Abyss digs it into Stevie's heart as smoke pulls out and he shakes and his eyes roll into the back of his head. The match is over, I don't know what to say. The commentary team say this is a feel-good moment. I feel like it's a moment that I've been hit in the head with a brick. The crowd loved it and Stevie played his part well. It was basically just a high-profile squash match that went on for 10 minutes. I'll give it a C because at least Stevie looked like he took a good old beating from the monster and was trying hard. Match 2, Abyss versus Dr. Stevie, again. Stevie jumps him on the ramp. He's wearing pink now, which was in fashion in Impact Zone at this point. They make it to the ring with Stevie desperately trying to hurt Abyss, but he no-sells his offense. The monster even has time to start undressing whilst that's happening. Then Stevie goes down to just one chop from Abyss as he claps like an idiot seal. He squashes Dr. Stevie in the corner and then spins him around with a black hole slam. It went 2 minutes and once again Stevie's offense has no effect on Abyss. After the match, Stevie and Kevin Nash try to beat up Abyss, but Mick Foley throws him out the ring like a piece of trash. It's an S. This whole time Stevie Richards has basically put a bounty on Abyss's head. Technically Kevin Nash collected the 50,000 bounty by beating Abyss in a match. He beat him, but he didn't take him out, so Stevie was upset to lose his money over this. Nash didn't really care and was busy sitting backstage, drinking wine and flirting with a young Jordan Grace. Daphne tries to get revenge for her doctor/lover by seducing Nash and then elbowing him in the nutsack. Stevie Richards uses a taser on him. Why does smoke keep pouring out? We're getting a lot of good promos on this run at least, although I feel like he forgot what his threat was on this one.
You have my money. But now tonight, I end your career!
Match 3, Dr. Stevie with Daphne versus Kevin Nash. Once again, Stevie spends the beginning portion of the match running away. Eventually, Daphne causes a distraction and Stevie tries to beat up Kevin Nash. He stomps and punches on him, and then in the ring he somehow gets a 2 count off an elbow. The Good Doctor is desperate to keep Nash down and he headbutts him. Stevie Richards' finisher seems to be a sleeper that he calls general anaesthesia, but he doesn't manage to make Nash pass out. Stevie gets a riding crop, but he also gets a Kevin Nash boot to the face. It surprised me that Nash ends the match here with a jackknife, but it didn't surprise me that Stevie lost. Another 2-minute squash, and I think we're still yet to see an actual wrestling move from Stevie. Move on, it's an S. Stevie's just pointless, he's just obsessed with Abyss. He was even the special referee in a match between Foley and Abyss, but both he and Daphne ended up getting destroyed in this one. Match 4, no DQ, Dr. Stevie versus Abyss. Yet again. Well, it's the exact same match we've already seen. Stevie's chops have no effect, then Abyss chops him down and claps like an idiot seal. Abyss throws a trash can into the ring and he hits Stevie in the head. Good shot, Chris. Abyss tries a charge in the corner, but the Doctor throws a chair in his face. Stevie then uses a hockey stick and then tries to work on the monster's leg, but he kicks him off. Stevie tries a DDT from the corner, but then the monster throws him off. He also attempts a Stevie kick, but that doesn't work either. Abyss then beats him with the shock treatment backbreaker, so not even his actual finisher. That's how useless Stevie was. He got beaten by a C-list move. He attacks Abyss after the match with a pole, and then Foley saves him. This has to be the most ineffective run I've ever seen. It's actually surprising how little damage he's doing to his opponents. Yet another S. Match 5, Jobber Stevie with Daphne versus... Oh, give me a fucking break, Abyss again. What's the point? He loses every time. This match is so boring and dumb. We've seen it so many times already. It never changes. Abyss has beaten him so decisively at this point, I generally believe he'd have a harder time beating Curryman. Abyss boots Stevie straight away, but Stevie kicks out. The bad Doctor then misses a splash in the corner and then Abyss almost rolls him up. The monster tries the backbreaker again, but Stevie fights it off and hits the most dramatic clip on the monster's leg I think I've ever seen. We then get to see our first Stevie kick of this run, but it's only a 2 count on Abyss. This match was going a bit better for him, but then he charges straight at Abyss and gets a black hole slam. As the referee counts to 2, the lights go out. When they come back on, Abyss is down and Stevie drapes his arm across Abyss. Dr. Stevie has somehow just beaten Abyss, but God knows what happened. It was a short, decent match to be fair. I quite enjoyed it. I'll give it a C for what it was. Daphne gives Abyss a chair, but Mick Foley makes the save for him again. He tries to whack Stevie with the chair, but then there's another blackout. We can just about make out a flame hitting Mick in the face, and now Raven with purple dreadlocks is in the ring. Raven is back in TNA for the 50th time, and he hits the Raven effect. This will be a new and completely forgettable faction. In fact, it was so forgettable that when I made a certain video on the Kings of Wrestling factions, who had the most factions in wrestling history, it was a battle between Raven and a wild Slapnuts appears.
Double J, Jeff Jarrett.
So yeah, I completely forgot to mention this one in that video. But that's not my fault, this faction sucks and it only lasts a few weeks. Match 6, handicap match, Raven and Dr. Stevie versus Abyss. Foley's supposed to be in this match, but the idiot Abyss locks his own partner in the office. Abyss slams the two ex-ECW guys together for a meeting of the minds. Raven turns it around for his team. Stevie then gets in the ring and punches Abyss a few times. Raven and Stevie then work together to choke Abyss on the ropes. Then Abyss wakes up and he punches them around and claps like a happy seal. He squashes his opponents in the corner, but he's unable to hit the double choke slam. Raven gets taken down and Stevie tries a kick, but he catches his foot and gives him the shock treatment backbreaker. Raven pulls out a lighter and tries to set Abyss on fire, but he can't do it. The referee gets scared and calls for the DQ. It's an S, boring and bad. The fight continues after the match and Raven hits one of the worst looking DDTs on the outside. And because it's ECW, they then try to hang Abyss over the ropes, but then the camera cuts away. I don't think I need to say it, but it's an S. Match 7, main event handicap match, Kurt Angle versus Dr. Stevie and Raven with Daphne. Our guys use their numbers advantage straight away to take turns to beat on Angle. They head to the outside and Raven and Stevie hit a double Russian leg sweep into the crowd barrier. Stevie gets to the ring for a 2 count. Stevie then tries an attack in the corner, but it has little effect because seconds later Angle hits a double clothesline. Angle has German suplexes for both of them. He then sends Stevie out the ring and he seems to be legit hurt on his little hand. Abyss appears at the top of the ramp and like a complete idiot, Stevie charges at the monster who gives him the black hole slam on the ramp. Raven taps out to the ankle lock. I wish I had more to say, but there's honestly nothing. A D because he actually hit a few moves this time. The feud with Raven and Stevie and Abyss and Foley continued, and this time Abyss got badly burned, something he wasn't afraid to do in TNA. Match 8, Final Resolution 2009, Foley's Funhouse match, Raven and Dr. Stevie versus Abyss and Mick Foley. It's just a hardcore match as you might expect. Mick hits Stevie in the head with a stick and he collapses in the corner. Abyss follows up by squashing both guys in the corner. The monster then hangs Stevie in the tree of woe and Foley crushes him with an elbow. Stevie almost does something next, but he misses his dive in the corner and Abyss claps like a happy seal. Abyss squashes him in the corner yet again. The match goes out of the ring now and Abyss drives Stevie face first into the stage, time and time again. Stevie's crying and pleading for help. Abyss tries to powerbomb Stevie off the stage, but Raven makes a save with a kendo stick. This match is the definition of an ugly, clunky one. Stevie hits Abyss with a weak chair shot and the crowd boo. Foley returns with a shopping trolley and beats our guys up. He even hits Stevie with a barbed wire baseball bat. Foley beats both guys up in the ring like they're nothing, and based on this video so far, that's what they are. Abyss drops his 350 on both guys at the same time. Foley's looking for the mandible claw, but Raven makes the save with powder, which looks like it hit his own partner more than anyone else. Abyss then takes his turn beating both guys up at the same time. He picks up Stevie for the backbreaker and boots Raven in the face, and then does a leg drop on Raven at the same time. Pretty cool move. The match spills out of the ring again and Foley traps Dr. Stevie in a ring of barbed wire and then he sets him up on a table. Foley dives off the ramp with an elbow drop onto Stevie, so he's pretty much dead now. Daphne appears in the ring and she tries to hit Abyss with a steel chair. The distraction is pointless and Abyss puts Raven away with the black hole slam. If you take away the table spot and the leg drop backbreaker spot, there was nothing to see here. At least Stevie took the moves though. It's a C, probably because I can't see him doing any better, so I'll take pity on him. Match 9, Richards, Raven and Daphne are just shoved in the ring with no explanation. They take on Hernandez and Matt Morgan. Morgan hits Stevie with the carbon footprint and it's over. Jesus Christ. Sometimes I exaggerate for entertainment, but this match was that short and pointless. I'm not going to waste my breath grading it. 30 seconds, thanks for coming, better get running. Match 10, Hardcore Justice 2010. 7 months later, Stevie Richards, who's no longer a doctor, with Nova and the Blue Tilly, versus Justin Credible. Well, at least it's something different. He might be able to actually hit a move for a change. Richards knocks down Justin and dances around the ring like a ballerina. Credible, who looks just like X-Pac if X-Pac were bold, gets thrown into the ring pole, nutsack first. Credible then turns it around on the outside of a suplex and then comes down on him with a body press to the outside. Back in the ring, Justin Credible hits a powerbomb for the corner. I seem to be wrong with my statement earlier because Richards isn't doing any better. Credible then gives him a DDT. Then, guys, stop whatever you're doing, guys. Guys, pay attention. Something finally happened for Stevie. He throws Justin Credible out of the ring and his face hits the steps. This turns the tide for Stevie and he hits some strikes in the corner. Stevie then hits a side slam and continues the power game with a big set-out powerbomb. Stevie tries to put him away with a dive from the top, but Justin Credible gives him a super kick for a 2 count. Then, for some reason, Justin Credible hits a tombstone pile driver but doesn't want to make the pin. He has an argument with Nova on the outside, but nothing happens. Stevie then hits him with the Stevie kick, and this one's done. It was nice to actually see some actual moves and variation. Justin Credible attacks Stevie with a cane after the match, but the Sandman makes the save. Another C, not too bad to be fair. Match 11, so Stevie Richards is back on the show now because the ECW guys carried on hanging around after the last pay-per-view. So at least we'll get something a bit different. Oh god, it's Abyss. Kill me! Stevie meets him on the outside and he throws Abyss into the steps. Abyss quickly shoves him down with a boot. They get in the ring and Stevie frantically hits Abyss. He tries a Stevie kick, but it gets blocked and Abyss knocks him down. The monster squashes him in the corner, just like every match. It's nothing new. I stopped paying attention because it's boring and I'd seen it 10,000 times already. I then looked up to see the idiot with a chair and Stevie Richards kicking him. And somehow Stevie's the winner. His happiness is short-lived though because Abyss beats him up. He did absolutely nothing except hit 1 kick and 10 punches. I don't care if he won this match, it won't be leading anywhere for him, it's a D. Oh yeah, he's saved by Brian Kendrick and he drags him away like a little girl. So now it's an S. Match 12, $100,000 Battle Royal. Richards joins the match during the advert break of a completely full ring. He's in there somewhere though, I promise. Oh no, it's Abyss again. Within a few seconds, the idiot eliminates Richards by simply shoving him out the ring. S. This is like my idea of a nightmare getting beaten by the idiot Abyss match after match. This is wrestling purgatory right here. You can't improve the ratings, you can't improve the wrestling, you can't improve the storyline, and you can't even improve on your performance against Abyss. Match 13, so this is the big one of the episode. It's Bound for Glory 2010 Lethal Lockdown match. Accompanied by Mick Foley, it's Tommy Dreamer, Sabu, Raven, Rhino and Stevie. And they take on Fortune, which is Beer Money, Morgan, Kazarian and AJ Styles with Ric Flair. Stevie starts out the match against Kaz, probably just because he has the best stamina on the ECW team. Kaz tries to throw Stevie into the cage, but he stops him and hits 4 neck breakers. That was random. This is now officially the most offense he's ever hit. He throws Kaz into the cage and boots him in the back. Stevie's finally slowed down as he misses a dropkick and Kaz slams him. He follows up by springing off the ropes with a leg drop. Kazarian then tries to put the killer blow on him with a top rope leg drop, but he misses it. Stevie starts getting cocky and mocking Ric Flair. He hits a suplex on Kaz and then takes him down again. This is quite incredible stuff really, guys. AJ Styles runs into the cage and he takes Stevie out with a phenomenal dropkick. It's not looking good for Stevie now as he gets double teamed. Fortune tried to rip Stevie's greasy locks off. Then we get a really cool double team as AJ hits a clothesline as Kaz does a backdrop. AJ pays homage to his manager now as he puts on a figure 4 leg lock, but there's no tap outs here. They leave him in the hold for quite a while, so he should be screwed now as Tommy Dreamer joins the match and saves Stevie after about a minute. Richards eventually stumbles back to his feet somehow, and Tommy slams him on top of his opponents. Then we get a tower spot with Stevie in the middle. It really must almost be game over for him at this point. Bobby Roode is in now and he gives Richards some knees to the gut. Later in the match, Stevie does his kick, but James Storm shows him how it's done. Matt Morgan comes in and gives Richards another boot to the face. Then the roof comes down with the weapons attached. The ECW guys are now in their comfort zone, apart from Richards. Everyone breaks out the cage and eventually Stevie Richards climbs up the cage after Kazarian. Fair play to these two guys who started out the match. Kaz sets him up on a table and climbs a ladder. Kendrick then appears out of nowhere and he takes Kaz out. Kendrick basically loves ECW, that's the story here. Brian Kendrick puts Kaz through the table, so no plus points for our guy here. The match then ends shortly after as Tommy Dreamer hits a Dreamer driver on a steel chair on AJ Styles. At the time, TNA fans were horrified by this match as a bunch of 50-year-olds beat the young TNA originals. And that ending on top of the cage, it felt like something more dramatic was going to happen. But I'm not here to moan about that one. Richards gets props for going the distance this one and he gets a B. Match 14, Turning Point 2010. 10-man tag. Kazarian, Beer Money, Douglas Williams and AJ Styles versus Stevie Richards, Raven, Sabu, Rhino and Brian Kendrick. If the ECW team lose, one of their members will be fired from TNA, the one who gets pinned. The match is pure chaos. Williams injures Kendrick and he has to leave the match. Bobby Roode then hits a double R spinebuster on Richards. Beer Money double team Richards with a dropkick Russian leg sweep combination. Fortune have seemed to have chosen to isolate Richards and Kaz drop kicks him. Kaz and AJ have some more nice double team moves next, following on from their last match with a backbreaker leg drop combination. The other ECW guys literally haven't been in this match after 10 minutes. Kaz is an idiot and tries a Stevie kick, which allows Stevie to hit Kaz with his own finisher and then tag out to Rhino. Much later on in the match, Stevie drills Williams with his kick, but Kaz responds by hitting him with his fade to black finisher. Sabu ends up losing the match for the ECW team as Styles hits him with the Clash. A really long, boring match. I don't know what Stevie's character is supposed to be, but from what I can tell, it's just to be as generic as possible. It's a D. Match 15, TV title match, final match. The champion AJ Styles versus Stevie Richards. Not sure what he's done to earn a title shot, but there you go, things don't always make sense. Stevie jumps him before the bell even though he's supposed to be a good guy. Stevie starts out with 2 back body drops, then he sends AJ to the outside but stupidly gets cut off as he comes in. AJ does something we don't see often from him next as he does a moonsault across Richards on the ropes. Styles starts dominating the match for a while but he can't make Stevie tap out. Stevie tries to make a comeback but AJ's too fast for him as he nails a beautiful dropkick. AJ's wrestling a pretty aggressive match here but he can't keep Stevie down forever. Stevie makes a comeback with some clotheslines and a net breaker. We then get a double down as AJ dodges an attack in the corner. Styles looks for a springboard into the ring but Stevie nails a kick as Styles comes into the ring. No way, he's not about to do it. No, AJ gets the rope break. I nearly thought that was going to happen then. Then everything goes wrong. Stevie tries a powerbomb and AJ slips as he tries to reverse it. Then he just says screw it and takes Stevie down with a hair grab. He picks him up for the Styles Clash, but it's completely botched and Stevie falls on his neck. Ow. I'm not sure what went wrong in that last 30 seconds, but it all went wrong. The ref checks Stevie can move his hands after the match. It's a shame because the match was going along well, but the ending completely killed it for me, so this one's a D. Richards would appear with the ECW guys for the next couple of episodes as they were gradually fired and the EV2 faction drifted away. Richards probably had more to offer than the other guys, but he left TNA because he said they were not even paying him a decent living wage. So this one's kind of a tricky one. He went from a wacky doctor's gimmick losing all the time to Abyss to a bland ECW guy who stood out because he was in better shape than the others. Let's be honest, it wasn't great, was it? I'll let you guys decide his final grade. Should it be a D or does he belong in the shove it zone tonight? Let me know down below, and if you don't, I'll rip your heart out in my hand and leave you alive long enough to show.